The left arm is away from the body. Credit to the referee crew. Really good positioning, because from that angle, that feels like it hits the right shoulder.
Welcome to Instant Replay from MLS Matchday 37. I'm your host, Andrew Wiebe, and as always, we're taking a closer look at the most controversial refereeing decisions in Major League Soccer. Do you like DOGSO? You know what, it doesn't matter. We've got 3 of them for you. We start in Charlotte, Montreal in town, 19 minutes in, and Adilson Malanda is fouling Prince Owusu. That's a foul, zero debate there. So, is it denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity? Let's go through the 4 considerations together. Number 1, distance between the foul and the goal. Yeah, it's about 25 yards or so, but number 2 is general direction of the play, and that is 2 goal with a good shooting angle for the strike, so double check there. Third one, likelihood of keeping or gaining control. This pass is perfectly weighted away from the defender and in stride for Owusu. If he's not fouled, he would be in possession and have a 1v1, and that leaves us with our 4th and final consideration, the location and number of defenders. It is Malanda and, well, nobody else. Tim Ream stepped up the field, there's no recovering defender. This is, as we've established, going to be a 1v1 situation with the goalkeeper. Now on the field, it wasn't called as a red card by Ricardo Montero, the referee, but in my opinion, it was correctly recommended for review by VAR Caroline Chenard. Montero goes to the monitor, and when you take the 4 considerations into account, it is clear. Red card, DOGSO. And how about more DOGSO? You want seconds? This time Portland-Dallas, 70 minutes in. Now let's rewind it back. The first thing I'm always going to look for before the foul or the considerations for DOGSO are just the basics. Is Farrington onside or offside on the original ball? And you can see he is kept onside by the defender at the top of the screen. So let's dig into the DOGSO. Sermon chases down Farrington and, well, he just sort of runs into the FC Dallas striker through his back with a forearm extended as Farrington is bearing down on the keeper, preparing to take a shot on goal. Farrington goes down, Chris Pinto, the referee, calls a penalty, and then he produces a yellow card. But my mind immediately went to the same place as color commentator Jamie Watson. This is a potential double jeopardy situation. In other words, is it both a penalty and a sending off for DOGSO, because Sermon doesn't appear to make an attempt to play the ball or a challenge for the ball as per the law. Pinto is sent to the monitor by VAR Jeff Gamble, who's thinking the same thing Jamie and I were. The clear and obvious error would be that this is a sending off offense. And Pinto watches the play, then sticks with his decision on the field. Penalty and a caution for Sermon. Now, hold on, you might be saying. Sermon doesn't appear to play or challenge for that ball, and I get it. My brain went there immediately too. But here's where it gets a little, well, inside refereeing, because the IFAB laws don't include all the context given to the folks interpreting the bang-bang calls on the field or in the VAR booth. See, there was a shift 2 years ago with a clarification of the interpretation of the DOGSO law from FIFA. Basically, the idea was a penalty and a red card for DOGSO fouls in the penalty area was too punitive in most cases. So FIFA's direction, in the most basic sense, went something like this. DOGSO fouls in the penalty area no longer start with a red card as the baseline. They should start with a yellow card, and only in the case of truly cynical challenges will the punishment rise to penalty and a red. What did FIFA mean by cynical in this case? Essentially, non-soccer actions, i.e. egregiously grabbing an attacker to pull them back or pushing in a way that shows no interest or intent in challenging for the ball or the position to win it, kicking someone's legs out from behind, that sort of thing. The threshold, as outlined by FIFA, was intentionally very, very high, which brings us back to this particular play. My first thought was Sermon pushes Farrington in the back, and you could definitely interpret as that and a cynical play. But the more you watch it, is it a push or is it more of a charge? Does Sermon's arm extend through Farrington as I would expect a push would? Yeah, not really. Where is the ball in all this? It is close. Is this an egregiously cynical challenge to take down the attacker? Or is it just a desperate, clumsy, and mistimed challenge? In the end, given what I know about the FIFA direction and the fact that this is a soccer play for me, an attempt to defend, a challenge for position on the ball, even if a poor one, I see why Pinto stuck with his call on the field. I'm okay with this being a penalty and a yellow card, and I hope now you have a little bit more information when it comes to these DOGSO double jeopardy calls. Okay, deep breath. That was a lot to take in, and now it's time for yet more DOGSO. This time, Nashville-Houston, just 9 minutes in. The Yotes press puts Eric Sviatchenko in a bad position, and yeah, he fouls Hani Mukhtar. Sergio Boyko, the referee, says red card. Ben Olsen's expression, that tells you what you need to know about his opinion. Back to that old reliable checklist. 1, distance between the offense and the goal. Center, top of the 18, check. General direction of the play, 2 goal for Hani, check, check. Location and number of defenders. Ethan Bartlow is your only possible recovering defender, and he fell down, has no momentum built, and Hani's touch is away from him, so Bartlow is not going to recover. Triple check. Last consideration, and you might have noticed I reordered these so I could save this one for last because it has a little bit of debate. The likelihood of keeping or gaining control. This is the only, maybe not for me, and only because I think it's possible that Hani's touch is long and Jonathan Bond might get there first. But the only reason it seems that way is because Hani is fouled. No contact from Sviatchenko, and Hani's on the ball in a 1v1 with Bond, so DOGSO Redso, as Bobby Warshaw would say for me. All right, that's it for the DOGSO. I promise. Let's do some violent conduct, just for variety. 83rd minute, LA Galaxy Sporting Kansas City. Shapi Suleimanov is going to show us the definition of excessive force and brutality while not challenging for the ball. In other words, violent conduct. It's the shoulder drop. It's the way he builds speed and runs through the body of what amounts to a defenseless opponent. I've got no issue with the call of red on the field from Fotis Bouzakos. To use a phrase from earlier in the show, this is not a soccer play. It's a I'm gonna get a piece and make it hurt play. Back to that Charlotte-Montreal game. How about a red card for serious foul play on Idan Toklamadi in the 72nd minute? Nah, come on now, Montreal. Never a red card for me. There's not nearly enough force. I don't see this as a stamp, really. And there's not enough contact. It's more glancing than full-on studs on top of the foot, in my opinion. Is it a bad challenge? Oh yeah. Is it a yellow card? Yes. Is it a red? No. Okay, more variety. How about a handball? St. Louis LAFC. We're in the 67th minute, and this is a lesson in camera angles and how they can trick your eyes. This first replay angle of a potential handball in Devin Paddleford that was called on the field looks like a clear handball. The second, hold on, that might not be a handball. I think it might be the shoulder. And the third, above and behind the goal, that is definitely right shoulder and not left arm. No PK. Good work by the VAR and AVRs to spot this, as well as the camera ops for capturing it. Let's go to Toronto, Miami. 19 minutes in, and this no penalty call is going to split some folks. Ross Smith had penalty from his POV on the broadcast, and I really understand why. I've got no issue with the play on here, however. All in all, I just think it's more of a case of Cifuentes pulling up his landing gear and looking for a call than it is a true foul on Busquets. For me, Busquets' left foot does come out, but just a tittle tad. And I don't think it actually initiates any significant contact with Cifuentes, who absolutely makes the most of it, while, to be fair, Busquets does his best via body language to look absolutely guilty. Flip a coin. Which side do you come down on? I'm a no PK in this situation. We end the show with a new award on Instant Replay. It's the Aren't You a Lucky Boy award for the week, and that's Paxton Aronson in this situation, who went full Karate Kid on Will Trapp's foot trying to win a ball early in the Rapids-Loons match. Yellow is the call on the field from Ismail Elfath, and there's no review initiated from Jorge Gonzalez, but for me, this is serious foul play and a red card. The speed, the exposed studs, the height of the challenge, and the clear contact on the top of the foot and ankle as Trapp is kicking up toward the ball and winning it, by the way. Yeah, for me, that's excessive force and endangering the safety. I would have liked to see this be a red card. All right, that's it for us. Big thanks to my editor, Phil Levanco, my producers, Aldo Medina and Rich Hernandez. I'm Andrew Wiebe. We'll see you next time.